So, Brock, that brings up a really good point. So, sometimes that happens. And I think the biggest one that we see a lot with salespeople is transitioning from a producing role to a leadership role, right? Where your job duties sort of change. Like, how did you handle that? Like, how did that process happen? Where you just sort of took on these duties? Did someone ask you to do them? Did you have to go and say, "Hey, no, I want to do these things to help because I'm interested in them"? And then after the fact, you were like, "Actually, no, I need more money because this makes sense." Like, what's that process like? Because it's sort of a chicken and egg thing, right? Like,
Right.
I can do the extra work and then hope that they recognize it. Like,
Yeah. Well, I've always been the type of person to just take it on first. And then thankfully, my company's been really cool about rewarding that and noticing it. But I definitely have to remind them of it.
mhm.
It's kind of a case of it's the job advice I give to a lot of people when they're starting out. They've had a first job and now they're looking to get promoted. Is just go do that job. Go do that job that you want to be doing, and and make it known to your boss that you're doing it. You're making path. You're making steps to do that, and then you want to be rewarded for it. So yes, it is a little bit of a chicken and an egg, and some people might be averse to that. To say, well, I could do that, and then the company could not recognize that and not reward me. But I always see that as if I'm going and I'm actually doing that job, and my company won't reward me for it, I'll just go find another company who will.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it too, because the like what's the risk for both? The risk for just going ahead and doing that is, like you said, Brock, you can find there's a lot of jobs. You can go find a job that's going to pay you for both. Hey, this is what I did. You can find some reference. You can find an employee, like one of your coworkers, that would vouch for you, and you can go and get a reference saying that you did both. And if you don't do it, then guess what you are? You're the rep that just sits in his lane and you sell stuff and you don't do anything extra and you don't understand operations or anything else. So I think the risk is greater on the accepting. Now I think there's the timeline though. I mean, you just can't do it for 2 years and not get rewarded. You do
Right?
have to take
Yeah.
a jump eventually.
This was within 6 months, and
Yeah.
I know some reps who they just want to sell, and they'll be
Mhm.
involved with some internal hiring stuff, but and they'll do stuff around the office, but they'll train and impart people because they're good people, but they just want to primarily sell 90 to 95% of their day, and that's fine, and they do well, right?
You need people like that.
100%. But I want to get into leadership eventually, right? I maybe not today, but um, I'm going to own my own company one day, right? I need to know P&L. I need to know marketing. I need to know how to hire internally, right? Operations, cash flow. So all those things, it's like, why don't I just go do that? And then, all right, if I don't get rewarded and recognized for it, I'll have those skills and I'll be able to transfer them somewhere else.